Hey everybody, welcome to our weekend check-in video for PSY-45 research methods for Saturday, October 1st. So we're officially in October. Just going to go over a few items and reminders as I always do, and some clarifications of upcoming assignments. So let's get started. First up here is that Unit 2 is almost completed there. All the quizzes and discussions are all done at this time. And by the way, a lot of you made some really great remarks regarding that recent Chapter 7 discussion that was due yesterday on that What Would You Do show, that episode there. Really good stuff and pretty interesting video, if not quite distressing in places there too. So I hope you really appreciated the opportunity to see that video, as it is a really good illustration, if anything else, of what we call a field study. Next up here is that exam 2 for Unit 2, opens up Monday through Wednesday this coming week, so October 3rd through October 5th. You will find a study guide there at the bottom of the Unit 2 module there, so do take advantage of that, and do carefully note the areas on the study guide that are italicized with some asterisks all around it. As you know from the Unit 1 exam, that's going to be the content that your 2 short answer essay questions are based upon, so do be prepared for that. The second exam is pretty much the same regarding structure and format as the first, so 50 questions, that's 50. You get 60 minutes, that's 60 to take the exam, and once the clock starts ticking, it doesn't stop, as you learned on the first exam there. And do be careful when you answer those short answer essay questions that you paraphrase it, as you put things in your own words. Do not copy and paste information from your textbook or from some psychology-related website that you find online, because I'm going to know you did that stuff, and so it really shows when that happens. And so please be careful to put things in your own words, just like you would on a paper and pencil test when you're taking an exam in a face-to-face class. Okay. Also, don't forget your MindTap assignments for chapters 5 through 7 are due this coming Sunday, tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. on October 2nd, so make sure you have those submitted by that time. Next up here, the big item is that your outline, the component 2 of your APA style literature review paper, is coming up due this Thursday, October 6th. Just like you saw for part 1, you'll find a dedicated APA literature review module underneath Unit 5 of our course material. So scroll down past Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Underneath 5, you'll see the APA module. You want to open up the instructions for component 2, the outline. And just like you saw for the first part of the paper, there's a how-to video there at the top, so please do watch that. It's a little bit less than 10 minutes if I recall. And I just kind of walk you through with narration and instructions and screenshots to show and tell you what you need to do on the outline. So do take some time to watch it. It'll really be a lifesaver for you. That's why I put those videos together for you. Also, make sure that you incorporate any feedback I gave you from part 1 of the paper. A number of you had some issues with your references regarding the APA style and formatting, so please do remedy those for this next part of the paper. I really hate to see someone not incorporate feedback that I provided, because it's pretty detailed feedback if you bother to look at it, and it tells you pretty much exactly what you need to do to remedy those problems, so you should not get docked for the same points again because you didn't clean up the mistakes from the first time around. So I give you that feedback for a reason, constructive feedback, people would say. So do take advantage of it and clean up any problems that you have there regarding your references, including the caliber of your references too, because some of you did have some issues that your references were not actual research articles. They were other things like psychology websites, etc., and those really don't count towards your 10 academic peer-reviewed research article references. Just like you saw for the first part of the paper too, don't forget there are samples there you can examine. This time I did place a number of sample outlines there, kind of the good, the bad, the ugly examples of outlines, so do take a look at those. And also when you're putting together your outline, because you do need to say something, that is, you need to actually cite, that is, provide a citation for each one of your 10 references at least once, for each reference in your outline there, that you don't just put together a bunch of quotations. So I don't want to see block after block of quoted material from all of your 10 references. Some quotation is okay, of course, but you really need to put a lot of things in your own words there, because that's what you're going to have to do for your paper. Your paper as well, of course, the final paper cannot be just a series of paragraphs of just quotes. That's not really writing, because quoting isn't writing, as maybe your English comp teacher has actually maybe told you there in the past. And do be careful about the APA formatting of your citations. If you look at your pocket guide to APA style, especially in chapter 5, beneath any formatting they show you for the reference, for any source that you have. They also have this thing called parenthetical citation. And so you put a citation in parentheses, and they give you lots of examples of how a reference should look like, but also its corresponding citation. So when you cite all those 10 references, it has to be in citation format, which is usually just putting the author name and year of publication inside parentheses, but also if you're quoting material, you also have to include a page number too. And all that is in your pocket guide. That's all explained in the instructions. So please make sure you take a look at that so you don't make any serious mistakes with that. And also, like you saw for the first part of the paper, there is a grading rubric file you'll find near the bottom of the instructions. Please do take a look at that so you can avoid any major mistakes that, again, will cost you a lot of points. Next up here is that for Chapter 7 there in the module on our Canvas course page, I did include an extra item there for a external video there from CBS News about the placebo effect. It's less than 10 minutes. It's really great. I think I mentioned last video. It'll really blow your mind if you thought you knew everything you needed to know about placebos. Might want to think again, because there's some pretty stunning research that turns all that stuff upside down. It's really fascinating. It's very well done. It's actually kind of funny too, so definitely check that out. Next up, Unit 3 is going to open up starting Tuesday next week there on October 4th. And it's going to cover 3 chapters again, chapters 8, 9, and 10. So be ready for that. As always, you can work ahead, and also keep in mind that the number of weeks dedicated to these 3 chapters is going to be less. We're going to have 2 weeks this time. We are going to condense a bit there and pack chapter 9 and 10 into the same week. So your quizzes for chapters 9 and 10 and your discussions for chapters 9 and 10 are all going to be due on the same date there, which is Friday, October 21st. You will get a reminder announcement to give you a heads up, because that's a little different than what we've done before, but I have to kind of squeeze a few things together so we have enough time to get through all of our 18 weeks and not turn everything into a train wreck at the end there. Again, just work ahead. You can always knock out your quizzes, your discussions, your mind taps there. All of that's all totally open there once Unit 3 opens up on Tuesday. Next up here, just a reminder, and you will get a reminder announcement about this. The last day to drop for any course during this full 18 weeks fall semester is next Friday, October 7th. So if you want to be out of a course, this class or any class, make sure that you drop the class using self-service there. And when you pull up your list of courses there under self-service, that new thing we've got now aside from WebAdvisor in the past, there is an option you can see pretty clearly to drop the class. So make sure you do that, because if you don't and you just stop coming to class, you're going to find that you're still going to get a letter grade in the course, and so it'll be a failing grade. So make sure, if you care about your GPA, that you officially drop yourself from a class. Next up here is that we are going to have our live session this coming Monday at 11 o'clock. You should have already gotten an announcement about that for that Zoom meeting, so it'll be great to see you if you can make it there, and I will record whatever I cover there. Also, make sure you're watching those lecture videos, especially as we go through chapters 8, 9, and 10. It will really help you out, because some of that stuff we're going to be getting into more design actual chapters here now too. So we just did our first strategy chapter on the experiment in chapter 7. Now we're going to get into, in chapter 8 and 9, design chapters. You're going to learn about between subjects designs and within subjects designs in chapters 8 and 9 respectively. So make sure you watch those videos so you can really get a sense of what that's all about. Otherwise, that's everything I wanted to say for this time. If you have any questions, reach out via email on Canvas, and I'll be glad to get back to you. I hope you're having a good weekend, and take care until next time.